third graders. It's Miss Fisher. We are going over week 1, day 3 of your packet. I am not going over the fluency with you because it's just like what you did with Miss Cotter yesterday. We are just going to go straight to the daily task. It's got a picture of some squirrels by it. It's called Squirreling It Away. Let's take a look. It says, Austin likes to watch squirrels find and store acorns for the winter. Brown squirrels can carry 2 acorns at a time. Gray squirrels can carry 3 acorns at a time. Black squirrels can carry 5 acorns at a time. There's a pile of 24 acorns. So just like we do at school when we solve a word problem, let's think, what is this story about? Yep, it's about a brown squirrel, gray squirrel, a black squirrel, some squirrels, and some acorns. Let's read it again and think about the quantities or the numbers involved. Excuse me. Austin likes to watch squirrels find and store acorns for the winter. Brown squirrels can carry 2 acorns at a time. Gray squirrels can carry 3 acorns at a time. Black squirrels can carry 5 acorns at a time. There is a pile of 24 acorns. How many acorns can the brown squirrel carry? Go ahead and say it out loud. Yep, 2 acorns. How many acorns can the gray squirrel carry at a time? You're right, 3 acorns. And how many acorns can the black squirrel carry at one time? 5. Great job. Make sure you have that written down on your paper or circled in your problem. And how many acorns are there all together? 24. That's our total. Good job. Now let's see what they're asking us to do. This problem has 4 different questions. So here's our first problem that we have to solve, letter A. How many trips would a brown squirrel need to store all the acorns in the pile? So we don't need to worry about the gray squirrel right now. We don't need to worry about the black squirrel right now. We are only worried about our brown squirrel and our acorns. So there's a few different ways you could solve this problem. I'm going to show you how I solved it. I thought, okay, I know that I have 2, which is my size of groups. Every time the squirrel goes back and forth, he's carrying 2 acorns. I know that I have 24, which is my total. That's how many acorns we have in the pile, no matter what. So I set up a missing factor multiplication problem. I need to figure out how many trips the squirrel is going to take. How many times is he going to go back and forth from the pile carrying 2 acorns? To figure this out, I wanted to skip count by 2s because I'm really good at skip counting by 2s. So you can do it with me as they bounce on the screen. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Stop right there. All right, I need to figure out how many times did I skip count? How many different trips? 1 trip, 2 trips, 3 trips, 4 trips, 5 trips, 6 trips, 7 trips, 8 trips, 9 trips, 10 trips, 11 trips, 12 trips. Oh, right, 2 times 12 equals 24. So the number of trips is 24. T equals 12 trips, sorry. And here is my sentence telling my answer. The brown squirrel needs to make 12 trips to store all the acorns. If you don't have a sentence that looks like mine, you need to pause the video and get something written down now. If you do, or you even have a sentence that's longer that explains your thinking, great job. Give yourself a pat on the back. All right, let's look at letter B. How many trips would a gray squirrel need to make to store all the acorns in a pile? All right, see you later, black squirrel. See you later, brown squirrel. We only care about the gray squirrel and the acorns. Here we go. This one I thought about a little differently. Again, there's more than one way you could do this, but I knew I have 24, my total, and I have 3 Still my size of groups. I decided I would try to solve this one using division to figure out T, my number of trips. How many times is he going to go from here to here carrying 3 acorns? To solve this division problem, I decided to draw an array. You can draw it with me or just count with me. I'm going to count by 3s as my rows of 3 appear because that's my size of groups. Here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Oh, stop right there. Let's count our acorns. 8 trips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows tells me that T equals 8 trips. Here is my complete sentence telling my answer. The gray squirrel needs to make 8 trips to store all the acorns. If you do not have a sentence that looks like mine, you need to pause the video and get something written down. If you have this sentence, a similar sentence, or a more complicated sentence, great job. Give yourself a pat on the back. And if you solved it differently, go into the comments and tell me how you solved this problem. All right, letter C is a tricky one, so let's take a look. How many trips would a black squirrel need to store all the acorns in the pile? So first things first, see you later gray squirrel, see you later brown squirrel. We only care about the black squirrel and the 5 acorns he carries and the acorns. Now, I am a little confused because I know my 5s really well, and I know that if I'm multiplying or dividing by 5, the number needs to end in a 5 or a 0 for it to be even, to be a multiple of 5. So if you felt a little confused when you started this one, that's okay, so do I. I'm going to draw some rows with 5 in each row and count by 5s to see how close we can get to 25. So let's see how, or 24, sorry. Let's see how it goes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Uh-oh, 25 is too many. My total is 24. He can't go carry 25 acorns because there aren't 25 acorns. So I'm going to get rid of 1 acorn. Now I should have 24 because 25 take away 1 is 24. So he's still going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trips, but on the last trip, he's only going to carry 4 acorns. That's okay. It's okay to carry less acorns on a trip. He can't carry more. The most he can carry is 5. But on his last trip, he only needs to carry 4 because there's only 4 acorns left in the pile. So this sentence is a little more complicated because this problem was a little more complicated. Let's take a look. The black acorn needs to make 5 trips to store all the acorns, but on the last trip, he will only carry 4 acorns. It's important to have that little conjunction and explanation on the end because it tells the person reading your sentence that you understood the trick they were trying to play on you. All right, let's look at the last one. It's the trickiest one of all, letter D. If all 3 squirrels work together to store acorns, how many trips would the squirrels need to make to store all the acorns? So this time I need all 3. And I'm going to figure out how many could they all 3 carry together first. First I need to know if they're working together, how many acorns are they going to carry? So 2 plus 3 plus 5 equals, go ahead and say it. You're right, 10. So each time these 3 guys go back and forth carrying their acorns, they're going to move 10. Now again, I remember when I was doing this myself, I felt a little confused because I know that multiples of 10 end in 0. So I can already tell there's going to be 1 trip where they're carrying less than 10 acorns. Let's see what happens. I'm going to draw my equal groups again because that is how I understand it. There is more than one way to solve this one. This one is a challenge problem. If you and whoever was helping you solved it a different way, comment in the comment sections and let me know the answer you got. But let's take a look at how I'm doing it. Here's my first group of 10 acorns. That's all of them working together. That's 10. There's another group of 10. 10, 20. I'm almost at my total of 24. I know I don't need a full trip of 10, so I'm going to just do one at a time. 21, 22, 23, 24. So they took one trip and carried 10. They took 2 trips and carried 10. They took 3 trips, but on the 3rd trip, they only carried 4. This sentence is going to be even more complicated because this problem had 2 steps. So let's take a look at the sentence I wrote to answer this problem. If all 3 squirrels worked together to store acorns, they would take 3 trips. That sentence has my answer in it. It tells the person reading, I got the correct answer. Let's look at my next 3 sentences that explain how I got this answer. I know this because 5 plus 3 plus 2 equals 10, so they can carry 10 acorns each trip. They will carry 10 acorns for 2 trips. On the last trip, they will only carry 4 acorns. I know I am right because 10 plus 10 plus 4 equals 24. This is a complete answer to question D. It explains the correct answer and it explains your thinking. If you have all this work on your page, that explains your thinking too. We are all done with our packet for today. Make sure you're logging onto Zern and ST Math. I'm really proud of you guys for working so hard. And if you have any questions, feel free to call, text, or email Miss Fisher, Miss Fifield, or Miss Cotter. And we will be posting another video tomorrow by 11 a.m. We'll see you then. Good job, guys. Bye.